It's just loading. Just give me a second. I hope you all can see it. Let me make it full screen. Today's verse is very beautiful. Like every verse in Bhagavad Gita is amazing. And this is one of those amazing verses that we get to discuss today. Anybody wants to volunteer to sing? No pressure. No pressure. I'll go ahead and you can all repeat if it's that okay. Let's begin. Jai Radha Madhava Kundari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Nalini aunty, you want to lead?
Not that I can't sing like you that much, but I can try.
Sure, please go ahead. We can follow you.
Jaya Radha Madhava Madhav Kunja Vihari
Jaya
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha
Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha
Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Praja Jana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Praja Jana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna
Tira
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Praja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Praja Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya
Jaya
Radha
Radha
Madhava
Madhava
Kunjabi.
Kunja
Kunja
Bihari.
Vihari. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That was wonderful. Jai. So before we begin our discussion, we'll go ahead and recite the Mangalacharan prayers to take blessings from all the predecessor acharyas and from Shri Krishna himself. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhantikamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Pashyadya Deshata Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Jai. Thank you all once again for joining for Saturday morning Bhagavad Gita discussion. So we are on chapter 10 as you all are continuing to listen. So let's see what our verse for today is. So it's 10:10. These from 10:8, 10:9, 10:10, and 10:11. These four verses are called seed verses. That means they are from those four verses is all is enough to understand the whole summary, or what you call like the deep essence of the scriptures are there in these four seed verses. So Ramanujacharya from Sri Sampradaya, he named them as Bija shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. So these are those four important shlokas in which Krishna summarizes who he is, what we should do, and what will he do when we follow his instructions. So that is what is exactly these four verses completely encapsulates the whole summary of Krishna's teaching to Arjuna. So they are very important verses, and we are very thankful that we are able to discuss that with you all today. So this is how it goes. If you would like to repeat, you're more than welcome. Tesham Satata Yuktanam
Satata Yuktana
Bhajatham
Bhajatam
Priti Purvakam
Priti Purvakam
Dadami
Dadami
buddhi yogam tam
buddhi yogam tam
yena mam
yena mam
upayanti te.
upayanti te.
So this is how the flow goes. Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satata yuktana
bhajatam priti purvakam
bhajatam priti purvakam
dadami buddhi yogam tam
dadami buddhi yogam tam
yena mam upayanti te.
yena mam upayati te.
Anybody else who'd like to recite, who has not got a chance to start off? We all can follow you. Want to just try? I don't want to call and put you on spot. Savitraji, would you like to try?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
I said I won't call, but I called. I'm sorry.
No, because I was also thinking, should I try or like that? So
There you go.
right,
Yes.
I was trying to gather the courage, right, and then you called me. I was surprised, so surprised.
He spotted you.
Sorry,
She was able to detect that.
sorry, I didn't
Go
hear.
ahead. No problem. He said I detected it. So Krishna maybe wanted to hear that. So please go ahead.
Thank you.
Telepathy.
Tesam satata yuktinam
Tesham satata yuktanam
bhajatam priti purvakam
bhajatam
Priti Purvakam
dadami buddhi yogam tam
Dadami Buddhi
buddhi yogam
Yogam
tam
yena mam upayanti te.
yena mam upayanti te.
Thank you. Haribol. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and read the synonyms. You could listen, or if you would like to repeat, you could repeat too. Tesham,
Tesham
unto them.
unto them
Satata yuktanam,
Satata Yuktanam
always engaged.
always engaged
Bhajatam,
Bhajatam
bhajatam
in rendering devotional service.
in rendering devotional service
Priti purvakam,
priti purvakam
in loving ecstasy.
in loving ecstasy.
Dadami,
Dadami
I give.
I give.
Buddhi yogam,
Buddhi yogam
real intelligence.
real intelligence.
Tam,
Tam
that.
that
Ena,
yena
by which.
by
by
which
which
Mam,
mam
unto me.
unto
unto
me
me
Upayanti,
upayanti
tam,
come
te,
they
de.
they.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So translation goes this way: to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. This is so straightforward, but it's really important to understand every piece and information that Krishna is trying to tell us. To those who are constantly, the word constantly devoted is very important to imbibe to me, and they serve with love, not just out of grudge, but with love. I give the understanding. He gives, what does he give? He gives the understanding by which they can come to me. So let's see how Srila Prabhupada explains this further. Niranjanji, are you able to read this if you don't mind?
Sure, thank you. In this verse, the word Buddhi Yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter, the Lord, instructing Arjuna, said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi Yoga. Now, Buddhi Yoga is explained. Buddhi Yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness, that is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence, and yoga means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called Buddhi Yoga. In other words, Buddhi Yoga is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. The ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. People do not know this. Therefore, the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important.
Thank
Hare
you
Krishna.
so much. Thank you, Ranjanji. How nicely Prabhupada is breaking out things for us to further understand what is this Buddhi Yoga, what is that intelligence that Krishna is telling of that he's going to give us. So beautifully explained. So moving further, anybody else would like to read this page?
Read this page. Thank you, Hare Krishna. One should know that the goal is Krishna, and when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal is achieved. When a person knows the goal of life, but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he's acting in Karma Yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, he's acting in Jnana Yoga. But when he knows the goal and sees Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he's acting in Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, which is the complete yoga. This complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Uncle. Anybody else with the last page here? One more volunteer.
Can I read now?
Sure, please.
A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization. But if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activity of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you so much again. Srila Prabhupada is taking a lot of effort to explain every word, every detail of what Krishna is trying to tell us so that we don't get confused between those instructions. And that's how his book, when you see it, is always written as it is, because he doesn't want to put what he thinks, but he wants us to give the pure message of what Lord Krishna is trying to tell us on how we should attain our goal. So I do like to ask questions, because it's not that I'm trying to say that somebody knows better than the other, but it just helps us with our own understanding. Like if we didn't catch it, somebody else answers it, and then it rehearses and it kind of registers better. So I like that way of learning. So when you read that whole thing, like I can put it up again. What was the goal? What is our goal of life? Like so many classes we have been attending, and each one of us have some kind of goals for life, but what's a common goal that we all are trying to reach here?
Constant thinking of Krishna.
Yes, to love Krishna and to know Krishna.
With the love.
Yes.
And self-realization through Krishna consciousness, and go back to Godhead when we die, and then offer the fruits of all our work to Krishna instead of getting the fruits for our own self. But I have not been able to apply all this in real life still.
We all are practicing, yes. But that's good to know what the goal is, that's right. Because once we know where the goal is, then we will head towards it. At least we'll make that effort. If we know the destination, we can put it on the GPS, so the GPS will lead us. If we don't even know the goal, then we'll go round and round in our car and we have no clue where we are going to reach, or maybe just go around for a ride. Reach our destination.
But as you said, it's very hard to define the goal, right? It might be different for every individual. I mean, every individual might be in the path of spiritual thing only, like trying to gain the knowledge. But what is the ultimate goal? It might be different.
Yes. So that's how Srila Prabhupada is trying to tell us that superficially, like when you see us, each one of us, if we on a bodily platform, like all these Bhagavad Gita classes, so many sessions, they were trying to tell us that first thing is we are not the body, we are the soul. So first thing is understanding who we are. So once we kind of understood theoretically, then there's another level, is the practical level of really understanding and functioning at that level. But just to say that theoretically we understood we are not this body, but we are that soul, that Atman, then what is the goal of that soul? Because the soul, who is the soul? The soul is a part and parcel of Krishna. So what is the goal of the soul? Is to go back to be part of Krishna. So that's where, like, the fish belongs to the water. Ultimately, like if you give the fish the big throne, all the gold, everything, delicious dishes, but just take him out of the water, he cannot enjoy it. He's just going to die. So that's how we all are, like we have all the wealth, or we try to get all the wealth. We have small so-called goals we try to achieve, but even after achieving, there is no satisfaction internally. We are having that feeling of, I'm missing something, I'm not happy. The whole point is we all want to be happy. Why are we doing everything that we are doing? Is we want to be happy. Why do we come to the Bhagavad Gita class? Like, is there something that's going to give me some happiness? Not that they're going to scare me out. So
like my reason for attending these classes once in a while is the calm nature, the peaceful, the positive energy this class gives is amazing. That's the reason I attend.
Thank you, Niranjanji. That's absolutely. So how does that positiveness come? It's because it's all about Krishna. So he's the source. So every class, and again and again and again, Krishna, just now see the whole picture. Like, let's not take the Bhagavad Gita shloka out of Bhagavad Gita. This is a conversation that Krishna is talking to Arjuna, his most dear friend. And now Arjuna is saying, leave about the friendship. Now I am your disciple. Please explain me. I am confused. I cannot fight, and help me. So he is in such a turmoil, confusion. And Krishna is speaking verse after verse after verse. What is the need for Krishna to say this chapter 10, if you open the Bhagavad Gita, the title of this, like Krishna doesn't go like, okay, now chapter 10, here is the title. He doesn't say like that. He is just flowing and speaking the message of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. But this chapter is entitled as the opulence of the absolute, opulence. So the whole thing starts when Krishna is going to say that, now listen, Arjuna, get to know my splendor, who I am. Why should he say that? Like his friend, doesn't he know that who is Krishna? Why is the need there for Krishna in clearing Arjuna's doubts for getting him to fight? He has to prove his situation or his supremacy, his absolute being the God, the Supreme Lord. Whom will we take shelter? If I know that Rajan uncle is an expert in his field, I would love to go and take shelter from him. I would like to take advice from him. If I know that he doesn't have knowledge in that field, I would not even go and approach him for any kind of that. Okay, I'll request everyone to kind of keep muted. Thank you so much. So yeah, if you have a question, you can always, this is a discussion. So it would be nice if things are not clear, because class after class, if we keep hearing, but the basic point is missing of what is our goal of life, then the whole classes will not sink in well. So that's also part of this today's verse also, when Krishna is saying that When you surrender to me with love, I give you the intelligence by which you can come to me. So why should we go to him? Because we are his part and parcels. We will be ultimately happy when we are connected back with our Father. So we are like the lost children who are trying to find happiness, and our Father is so wealthy. Everything belongs to him, and he has the magic to do anything and everything. When we know that's the kind of person our Father is, and he loves us beyond and what we can imagine. He doesn't hate us, or he does. We are the ones who have rejected him and said, okay, I want to go separately and enjoy. He never sent us away. So it's our sole decision. So we kept on discussing many verses. Many speakers have introduced you to the concept of Krishna doesn't like to force love. Like any parent here on the platform doesn't force. You don't wake up the child and say, okay, you got to love me, okay? You got to love me, okay? Nobody does that. But it's the loving exchange that keeps the relationship going. But even in parent-child relationship that we see in this world, if a child becomes very rebellious, grows up into a teenage and starts tweeting and putting Facebook messages, oh my, I hate my parents, they are so terrible, how would we feel? We will tolerate for a few years, and after some years, like, okay, just give me some peace of mind. You be on your way, I'm on my own. So even in this world, we do that. Like in the heart, we may not, but it just gets to the point that, okay, now maybe the separation is good for you and good for me also. That's how for Janmas, so many Janmas and so many births and births and births, we have rejected Krishna. We have not even thought about his presence in our life, in a sense that we didn't want him to be in the picture. We are like, we are fine, we are doing well, we are doing well. When there is a problem, we will just throw the question to the Almighty, whoever is the Supreme Lord. Just use him like a resource person to help me to fulfill my needs. And then I'm on my own again. But did that give us happiness? It did not. So that's where we are here again to see that what is that connection that we have with Krishna. We are trying to, so the Lord, the Supreme Lord himself is telling this to Arjuna. Arjuna, you are my part and parcel. I am that Supreme Lord from whom everything emanates. I am the seed-giving father, Aham Bija Pratapita, of everyone. Krishna is not envious of Duryodhan, nor is he favorable to Arjuna. But he says, Ye yatamam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamyaham. Like, as you surrender unto me, so shall you get the reward. So all the children are equal to him, but when the children show that affection and take that effort to approach the Lord, approach the Father and reciprocate, so comes the reciprocation back in the positive direction. So here he's emphatically saying that devotee who puts his, like satatam kirta, tesham satata yuktanam, like he's constantly engaged in worshipping me. How? Preeti purvakam, out of love, not out of force, not out of envy, not at all, not out of fear. Most of us are like, the Lord will curse you, or you should pray because that's how it is. He's powerful. Means like, he's not that kind. So if Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, I am the Supreme Lord, what is he doing? He's the chariot driver for Arjuna. He didn't say, Arjuna, you drive the chariot, let me fight. That should be right. Like if he was bossy, he's not bossy. He's trying to just help. He's really trying to be the true friend, real well-wisher. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He's like, I'm the best friend for every living entity because you all are my part and parcels, my kids. This knowledge, this is the real knowledge that Krishna is trying to give to each one of us using Arjuna as an instrument. So why do we call this a manual? Because by understanding from the point of Arjuna's point of view, we, the souls, are lost and we are confused and we don't know what to do. So when Krishna is giving this message, when we are able to receive it in that mood, that humbleness in our heart, he opens those doors that are locked. Like every class, I also see that some just get all the message very, very quickly. For some, it may be a little confusing. For some, in other ways, like they may just forget what the whole thing was spoken. So everybody, this message is the same. The speaker is saying the same thing and the Lord is being equal. But as the person opens up their heart to welcome the message does magic. Krishna's message does magic in their hearts. So that is what is Krishna is saying, that I give dadami buddhi yogamtam. I give them that intelligence. What is that intelligence? Not that we have to become a PhD scholar, not that, and Krishna is not stopping us from becoming a scholar. He's trying to say that the real intelligence is that you understand your roots. That means you will come back to me and you will be situated in your constitutional position. When you are in your real nature, there'll be no problem. Like when you are, always we say, right, when we are well settled, we say we are at home. Why do we call that? We feel at peace, we feel at calm, we feel in our element. So much we are able to relate. Then imagine when we are with our Supreme Father, how much more we will feel at home, feel that safeness, we'll feel that love that we are looking everywhere for, and the protection. Everything is covered when we are with Krishna. How amazing, right? That's why are we working? Why are we studying? Everything at the end, we want to be happy. That word happy is ringing in everyone's head. If you are a kid or in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever we do, all that we want to be is we want to be happy. And Krishna is saying you can be happy if you are with me, because that's where you belong. If we are together as a family, you will be happy here. That point when we are missing, that's where we are struggling again and again and again. Repeated birth and death, repeated birth and death. And we are going in that cycle. The cycle, how they say the cocoon just builds the net. It binds itself. Nobody is asking it to do that. But if we build our own cocoon and we get entrapped in it, it's our fault. It's not the Lord's fault. So many examples like how we have the electricity here, and when the plugged in for a refrigerator, things cool down, but when the heater is plugged in, it heats up. So electricity is calm and neutral, but based on the makeup of the machine that's connected, the socket that's connected to the power, it either the energy is transformed into heat or cold. So that's when we connect to Krishna, like how you all remember, I guess my husband really says wonderful stories, and he makes nice points to understand these concepts. And he would have spoken surely about this Paundraka, who wanted to say that I am Krishna, I am Vasudeva Krishna. Who is that sitting there? He's not. And he actually manufactured and he made Shanku Chakra, all he made out of wood, all sticking out, not even real. And he said, let me go fight and tell that Krishna, he's not the real Krishna, I am the real Krishna. And he has the audacity to go and fight with Krishna, saying that, give me the chakra, that doesn't belong to you. And Krishna was having such a good laugh. Like if it was us, if somebody challenged our position, we would really get mad. Like, do you know who I am? The first reaction is anger. But Krishna was having such a good laugh that he said, if that's what he wants to fight with me, why not? Let's go have a fight. He's calling for a fight. I'm okay with it. Let me go and show that. So when he went there, and when there was a fight exchange was going between Paundraka and Krishna, and Paundraka said, Krishna, the Sudarshan belongs to me. And Krishna was like, really? You want it? Here you go, take it. And he just gave it. Can anybody take the Sudarshan? Mm-mm. And when the Sudarshan came, what happened? He just swept off his neck. So he was so ignorant. And people in his kingdom, Paundraka's kingdom, they were saying, yes, you are that Vasudeva. He's not Vasudeva Krishna. You are. See, you got the chakra, Gada, Padma, everything. You should be the real one. You are the strong. He's just a fake little young boy. So people were just, his ministers were making him feel his foolishness go further high, that he had the audacity to go and fight with even, make a war with Krishna, and he lost his life. So we may be around people. That's how it is said even in the purport. Srila Prabhupada says that the association, the Sangha, it's so important because we remind each other. If we are with a set of people who say that, oh, you are God, you know what? You are amazing. Look at your knowledge, look at your beauty, look at your strength. Who can compare to you? You are that one all-in-all person. And we feel like, yes, I am the boss. So if we keep being around such people, then we'll be in such a big illusion. Our own intelligence will bewilder us. But if we are with the devotees who know that, yes, you are beautiful, you are having that knowledge, but we are that minute part and parcel of Krishna, from where all that originates, and we belong to him. Somebody is able to remind us, yes, you are blessed to be beautiful. You are blessed that you got this intelligence. Yes, you are blessed. You are such an amazing cook. You are blessed that you can sing so beautifully. What is that blessing? That's Krishna's blessing. Like when we see the kids, we say, see, he's like his father. How amazing. We just don't say that kid just dropped off from the air. Nobody, even at such a common sense, we say that what a genes he has got. See his family lineage, how nice he's been endowed with. So what is that family lineage? Where is it all coming from? Did it just pop up just a few generations back? That's where we want to trace our lineage back to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So that's where, when we know our roots, we all are very happy that that's the Supreme Lord, and we can actually see we all are brothers and sisters in that big picture. We feel that connection, and the true love actually will come in that way, right? If we will not have that hate, we will not have that prejudice, we will not have that envy, because we are a big family. We all are related to each other. That's the nice feeling that Krishna is trying to say, that this Vasudeva Kutumbakam, it is possible only when you know your roots, that you all, even the animals, the plants, everybody is the Lord's expansions. You have just forgotten. We just have to wake you up from the sleeping state. So this is where Bhagavad Gita comes. Every verse where Krishna is again and again saying how supreme he is. He's saying that so we understand that we approach him not with envy. He's saying all that I am this, I am that, I am superior, I am the source, I am powerful, I am all knowledge, everything is emanating, not to make us feel envious or low. He's saying that's how powerful your father is. Get to know your father. Get to know you are my kid and I love you to the core. Just turn to me. Don't run away from me. That's all he's trying to say. Like how we all tell our kids, you know the bank balance, my kid, we all have it for you. We have saved it all for you. Don't worry. We say that, right? And we pat our kid up. Yes, you can do it. So similarly, Krishna is giving all this assurance to us. So the kid never gets envious of a father because he knows everything is mine. Everything belongs to me. Further, my father is going to give it all to me. So Krishna is saying, it's already yours. Just come, let's enjoy together. When you go separated with our ego, that's called the ahankar, that we say that I want to enjoy separately from Krishna. That's where the whole problem comes, that we want to enjoy that which is not ours. And then we end up like Paundraka, we want to have the Sudarshan Chakra and then cut off. The head is cut off. And you know what? We are seeing the external part of head being cut off. But Krishna was so kind. He gave him liberation. He gave him Sarupya Mukti because he said, this little fellow, he gave me such a good laugh. It was such a good hasya feeling for me. And I really want to reward him. And what kind of reward he gave? Liberation, Mukti, totally. Sarupya Mukti means he will get a same form of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha for such an envious person as Paundraka. That is our loving Krishna. Putana, who came to kill with poison applied on her breast. What did the Lord give? He made her his mother in the spiritual world as his nurse. So he is not seeing, like if somebody's going to come and kill me or you or backstab us, we don't want to give them any great reward. First thing is we would all curse words would flow out of the mouth and we would all wish ill. But here is Krishna, because he knows he is not in ignorance. It's we who have forgotten that he is our father. He knows this is my kid. Why would he curse or why would he wish bad for anyone, right? So he gave the Sarupya Mukti, liberation to Paundraka. That is amazing. And also to Putana, all the demons that Krishna killed, they all got liberated. Just the glance of Krishna in his presence all got liberated. So do we want to be one of those demons who want to get envious and hatred and fight with Krishna? Or do we want to be like those loving gopas and gopis who want to play with Krishna, who want to be in the pastime of Krishna, who want to assist him and enjoy along with him? That is the difference that we are trying to understand here. All this Bhagavad Gita, we want to be on the Arjuna's gang, trying to be friends with Krishna. Imagine amount of happiness that we will have. Or we want to be on the Kauravas party, being envious of Krishna. Even though he's merciful, he's going to liberate us eventually. But which party do we want to be? Do we want to face Krishna in the form of death, in the form of time as a fear factor? Or do we want to see death as a transition, as a beautiful transition, go on to the planet of Krishna? So that is in our code. So Krishna will never, ever take away the free will. That is one aspect that each one of us have here. this reading, like Krishna can magically just sit and in a snap, he can just say, everybody become a devotee, and we would all become a devotee. We don't even have to go through all this, but he would never do that, because by force, there's no love in force. There is love when there is spontaneity. Always, I hear this example, like, not anymore. Whoever goes to work, I wouldn't discriminate between the genders. Whoever goes to work and comes back home, if the other personality says, oh, how nice and happy to see you, and just gives a smile and does nothing, there is nothing given to that person or nothing offered, like a drink or something to eat, and you'll be like, I really love your love, but please show me some love. Right? I'm hungry, give me something to eat. So similarly, Krishna, when we say we love Krishna, we got to show that. When that gesture of showing is called devotional service. That gesture of act. As a soul, none of us, we are active souls. We are not sleeping souls. Soul is active by nature. Active means there is activity. That means there is action. There is movement. So what is that movement? We walk, we talk, we hear, all this, when it is dovetailed with Krishna, that is called bhakti. We hear about Krishna, we talk about Krishna, we cook for Krishna, we offer for Krishna. If he just sits and eats, does he do that? He actually, when we offer the food to Krishna, what he does? He takes away all the sins of that food and he sanctifies it, and it becomes prasad. Same food that was just cooked a minutes ago, if we just ate it, we will get incur all the sins that every little microbial organisms that gets die during the process, during the transport, everything that happens, even though we are doing vegetarian meals. But there is, in the process, there are so many millions of whatever microbial organisms that die in the process. But Krishna makes it karma free. He takes away all that karma and he makes it prasadam for us. And he helps us to get connected to him. So every act, it's, if we understand the purpose behind what we do, we will be happily doing. That's what he keeps saying again. Like Krishna, see, if we imagine ourselves that we are like those tiny little kids, even though we are in big bodies with many number of years in this life, compared to the spiritual knowledge and the vastness of the life of Brahma, we are really minute. So if we understand ourselves to be in those baby steps, so the father and mother are saying, like, if it's tomorrow is Father's Day, so happy advanced Father's Day to all in the platform. And ultimately to Krishna, who is our Supreme Father. So the mother says, come, let's make a card for Appa. And the kid is really small and he loves his father. He would say that, yes, Amma, if you help, I can do. So Amma will bring all the mama colors and she will get the paper and let's do it. But just imagine that rebellious kid. It's like, I don't want to do. I don't like this. I don't have to do it. But you know what, the mama is very loving. She will make the card and she will put it in the hand of the kid and still bring and give it to the father. That is our loving Radharani, the mother. So that's the job of a mother, that she always makes sure the bridge between the kid and the father stays, even if the kid is rebellious. But now that if we feel we are grown up, then we should understand the message of Krishna and do the devotional service Preeti Purvakam, not grudge Purvakam. So Krishna is saying to us, he has to teach us, please do whatever you're doing to me with out of love. Don't cook that you're going to throw it at me. Cook it with love that you're going to give it to me. Please show some love. He's only thing that Krishna hankers is love. He has everything in full. Why does he hanker for that love? He is Atma Rama. He's self-satisfied. That love is our bridge between the kid and the father. So he never wants to break that bridge. He says, when you keep that bridge, it makes me feel so happy. I'm hankering for that love that I see among my kids. So each one of us, we have those opportunity that how we want to mold our day, how we want to mold our life around these teachings of Bhagavad Gita. No one person said that this is not the manual, be it whatever religion you're following, or if anybody universally, they would say Bhagavad Gita, manual of life. If it is the manual, that means each instruction is so important. That means it is very valuable, that needs to be applied, and it works. That's why it's a manual. Otherwise, we would never call this book a manual. There are so many books around, spiritual books. They all aid us. But here, these sutras are direct at any point of time, It was spoken 5,000 years ago. It's still applicable today, and it will be applicable another 5,000 years down the lane, or till another 500,000 years down the lane, as long as there is a relationship between the kids and the Father, the Supreme Father. This connection is revived by studying this wonderful, amazing book called Bhagavad Gita. So I would like to just share one more aspect here. So we have here Mother Draupadi. We all know that she is so close to Krishna, and she went through enough of struggles. And this one thing is enough to tell that she doesn't deserve, or she doesn't have to go through all these things, right? This much of difficulty for a woman. None of us pray that we want to be put in such a situation. But what did she call out? She did first call out to her husbands. She called out to Bhishma Dev. She said, see, my superiors, in front of you, such a stupid thing is happening. Why aren't you helping me? She turned to everyone in that assembly. Nobody was able to help her. And when she raised, and she was trying to hold on to the sari, how long can a woman hold on to her sari when Dushasan, such a strong warrior, is pulling it? It's a zero hope situation. And then who gave that remembrance? This is what I'm trying to say, that Krishna gives dadami buddhi yogam tam. He gives the right intelligence at the right time and the right moment. She lifted both her hands. That's how the act of lifting both hands implies surrender. It shows that we are totally surrendered to you, my Lord. There is nothing within my own limits that I can save myself. And she called out, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandho, Jagatpate. She called out, Krishna, Krishna, Pahimam. And who came? The name flowed. Krishna's name reaches us before the Lord even could come. So the sari just flowed what was needed there. So this is where we say that shelter, Ananya's Chintan, that ultimate shelter when somebody takes, Krishna is there to help us. He's never said, I am not there. So he is there everywhere. It's only us who have to show that surrender to him. Another pastime here we see is Dhruva, who got so mad at his father because his stepmother did not let him sit on just the father's lap. Nothing else he asked. He just wanted to sit on his father's lap. Any kid would want to, right? And the stepmother was so rude. She said that you don't deserve, or you can't sit on your father's lap because you were not born in my womb. And that got the kid really angry. And what did he do? He went to his mother and cried. And what did the mother do? She was angry too. She was upset too that such a injustice has been done to my son. But internally, she being a devotee, she guided Dhruva. She said, Dhruva, only Krishna, the Supreme Father, who is the father of even your grandfather, Brahma, he can only save you from this situation. Go approach him. She was not fearful to give this answer to the kid. And where will he be found? He went to the forest to actually go to tapasya. So in that whole episode, Narad Muni comes on the way to help him. So that is the desire. So I'm trying to point that this 5-year-old kid, what did he know? All that he knew was his mother in his world. And his mother said, Lord Vishnu will protect you. And he just walked off. And Narad Muni, he came seeing the determination of Dhruva. So our part is our determination to do our bhakti. And all the help that is needed, Krishna will send us. So the Lord sent Narad Muni as the guru, and he gave the mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And go ahead, my child, go and chant. Even first he says, Narad Muni, go back, you're such a young kid. You know how hard forest life is, all animals, and it's very scary. And the kid was like, I am not going back without meeting Vishnu. I am going to make sure that I go meet him. And he went into such a hard tapasya that when he stopped, it says that he stopped eating, then he was just eating dry leaves, then he was just taking some water. And after a month or so, it's described in Bhagavatam where he stopped breathing. And when he stopped breathing, the whole universal air was sucked. Nobody was able to breathe. And all the demigods ran to Vishnu and said that, who is this little kid who is doing such a tapasya that we are choking, we are out of breath? And the Lord said, it's my dear Dhruva. I am now going to see him. He's ready to meet me now. And when the Lord came, and Dhruva, you see that 5-year-old, he is speechless. He's seeing the Supreme Lord in front of him. And he's speechless. He didn't know what to say. He's dumbfolded. And the Lord touches his head with the conch shell. And he gives him the intelligence and the chosen words to praise the Lord. So this is called Dadhami Buddhi Yogamtam. When you are ready, you get the mercy, then you act on it. So when we have this power of speech, when the Lord has blessed us with so much scriptures, so much knowledge about him, we use that in glorifying and sharing that message. That is what it means that he has blessed us with this message. Dadami Buddhi Yogamtam. And Dhruva began to beautifully recite prayers and shlokas. And he said, what a stupid I am. He realized that. And the Lord said, okay, what do you want? I'm ready to give you. What is your wishes? And this little Dhruva says that in front of such a great personality, I came to ask for broken pieces of glass. He realized that asking for a kingdom better than his father or grandfather was such a useless, useless attempt, or useless. His wish was to ask such a thing to the Lord when he could give you liberation. So the word and the meaning of liberation is understood through the words of scriptures. What we will get when we go back home with the Supreme Lord is compared to nothing of what we see here and what we can even imagine to our extent that it's here. So the knowledge that we don't have, that's how we are not even sure. Should I even ask to go back? I don't know. What is it going to be like? Will I be in a hut? Will I be in a 3-story building? Will I have my own place or not? Will I have jewels? Will I have a good sari? Like, we are so doubtful about the protection of our Supreme Father. So that's where Bhagavad Gita, again and again, Krishna says all the opulence that you can ever imagine in your life. It's all there. Lakshmi Devi is massaging Vishnu's lotus feet. Just imagine. So she's the source of all wealth. And she is willing to be the maidservant of Vishnu there. And then what else can we say about the wealth that the Lord possesses? Everything emanates from him. That's it. Everything. Everything means everything. So going back, taking the decision to be determined, to be a devotee, to perform devotional service and revive our relationship with Krishna is our ultimate goal of life. We may have little goals on the way, which can be what we call small sub goals. But as far as if it is not related to the soul, it will not be of ultimate benefit to us. It will give meager so-called happiness, which will in turn become in itself a problem. Like everything that we wish for in this world it's a place where it's not permanent. So we are asking for things that will not be permanent. So if we consider I am very intelligent, my intelligence is amazing, I know to discriminate. What is intelligence? Intelligence is you know how to discriminate between what is good and bad. You know to ask for a long term, you're able to look far beyond and see the goal of life. So that's what real intelligence is. So Krishna is saying that intelligence, I will give it to you when you constantly perform your devotional service with love and devotion to me. So here is the story we saw, and this is amazing that our universal secondary creator Brahmaji, who sprouts from the navel of Garbhodaka Shayi Vishnu, when he came out, he didn't even know who his father or mother is. He's like, who am I? I'm so confused. And you know what? He heard in his heart, he heard the word tapa, means meditate. And he went into meditation on understanding who am I? Who am I? Who's that Lord? Whom do I belong to? That's the first question each one of us have to ask, like our own secondary creator Lord Brahma asked, who am I? So when he went into that meditation, not 1 year, 2 years, thousands of years he went into meditation, he got to hear from Krishna himself about how he belongs to the Lord, and he is being created so he can create this material world and continue on with the creation that's being, he is being empowered. And in the Bhagavatam recently in the classes in Farmington Hills, we are on the chapter where we are focusing on Lord Brahma's creation. So I highly recommend you all, if you would like to follow that sequence, every Saturday, Sunday in the mornings, they have classes on Bhagavatam where Brahmaji is creating one thing after the other. So when he is creating, he himself goes into bewilderment, like he's so confused. And so many things happen like a hurdle, but then every time there is a problem, like first thing he has his 4 Kumaras who are born, the 4 small kids. And he says, okay, now help me in creating further. And they say, no, Appa, we are going to go in meditation and we want to be brahmacharis. We just want to stay these young boys and go back to Godhead in this lifetime. We don't want to go into this creation part. And Brahmaji was so disgusted. Like when the father says to the kid something and the kid says, no, I don't want to do, we feel very frustrated, right? Brahmaji also got frustrated that my kids are not even helping me in my job, in our family business of creation. And then he got so angry that between his eyebrows, who came out? Rudra came out. That anger personified form, Rudra came out. And he said, Rudra, now you go and procreate. And when Rudra started procreating, it was more devastation than procreation. So he said, okay, now you please stop. Let's all go and meditate on the Supreme Lord. So every step, Brahmaji was facing hurdles and hurdles and hurdles, but he did not give up. He meditated on the Lord, and again, he gets direction to continue on with this creation of this material world. So this example is just given to say that determination is so important, that we continue on with our devotional service, even though we may fail on a daily basis, but we don't give it up because the Lord is there. He gives the, the final word, that I am there with you. How does he give that word? This is another beautiful pastime. He promises to Bhumi Devi. We all know how Varahadev came and he actually saved Mother Earth, Mother Bhumi, after having a great war with Hiranyaksha, who put the earth into the causal ocean. And then, but our mothers are very loving, right? Like that's the role of a mother. And when she came out, Varahadev says, ask me for a boon, Bhuma Devi. I would love to give you some boon. And what does the mother always think of her kids? So she said, I want to make sure that all my kids are being blessed. And I am very worried for them because they are so busy with their so-called life and they have so many other things that they may even forget you. And you always say that at the time of death, whatever you remember, that's what you will get in your next life. Why does he say that? Because what do you always constantly keep on remembering? That's what comes to your memory even in your unconscious state. So if we are very materialistic, we've been thinking of a house or a dog or one more wealth, or if our goal of life is being materially related, there is nothing spiritual that's going to happen when we are going to be at the end examination, right? So the mother was very worried. My kids are such kind of kids I have, what to do? So here Varahadev gives a promise to Mother Bhuma Devi. He says, Sthithe manasi suswaste sharire satiyo naraha dhatu samye sthite smartha vishwarupam chamamajam tatastam riyamanam tu kashtapashana sannibham aham smarami madbhaktam nayami paramam gatim. Lord Varaha addresses Mother Earth or Bhumi Devi, who expresses concern for the well-being of all her children. If anyone thinks of me, when the mind is sound, sthite manasi, when the mind is sound with the body in good health, swaste sharire, and with all mental and physical faculties working perfectly and intact, dhatu samye sthite, thinks that I am indeed the very cause of this universe or the form of this universe, Vishwarupam, that I am without birth, then I assure you, Devi, that I will remember this devotee of mine when she is on her or his deathbed, lying helplessly like a stone or a log of wood, and personally take him or her to the supreme abode. So here is our loving Father, right? He's saying, when you are well and sound, if you behave well and if you show your love to me when you're in good health, don't worry what happens at the end. I will take care of you. That's my promise to you. So we have the promise of Varahadev. And I want to conclude here by saying that Srila Prabhupada, nobody at the age of 70 will cross, and not that he took a flight, he took a cargo ship and he came all the way here just to teach us and translate this whole Bhagavad Gita for us in English. It was not available, such easily available for Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. he came to do that for us without selflessly. So we are so thankful to him. And how did he get his buddhi? Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Who gave him that intelligence? Krishna gave him that intelligence. If somebody called him, Swamiji, you are Bhagavan, and he would say, no, I am just a dog. I am just a servant of God. What does this Kantimala mean? I am just a servant. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Please don't confuse. I am just a messenger. I am just conveying the message of Lord Krishna to you all. So this means like the belt, the dog belt. So he would hold this belt and say that I have my master. Krishna is my master. So please take the message. I'm here to just convey the message of the Lord. So we are so thankful to Srila Prabhupada that he has made this vast knowledge so accessible, so much. Like the verse itself, when we read the translation, it was kind of easy to understand, but Srila Prabhupada breaks it down again and again. What is Buddhi Yoga? What is that intelligence? What does Krishna come to give us? What is that intelligence he's trying to tell us and talk us about? He breaks it into his purport and explains it further to us. So I really want to thank each one of you, like you take your time out to come and attend the Bhagavad Gita sessions. If you have any reflections or questions, the platform is open. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
You very nicely explained how you need to go to, you gave the example of you need to go to the right doctor for the right kind of help. So this is the knowledge that eventually everybody has to be given, the right person with the right company, with the right goal, you get to where you are and the ultimate realization comes. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajan Uncle. You just summarized it completely. Thank you so much. The right association is so important. They will keep on reminding us what's the right goal. If we want to go for IIT exam, then we don't associate with other set of people. Then we associate with those who want to take that IIT top exams, who want to crack that. Or if you want to take the medical, you want to associate with that group. So similarly for satsang, we want to be with the people who want to learn about who is that Supreme Lord and connect back to him. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you again very much. It's so nice. We can see you again.
Thank you so much, Auntie.
I have my friend, Dr. Rao Malampad is there. So that's what I come for, the important, right people.
Thank you, Dr. Valampati. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
nicely
you.
expressed.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. It's very nice.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
We'll meet again next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Mataji.